What's up, and welcome to another episode of Winged Octopus. This is Tyler here alongside Greg. We're a little thin tonight, but we're gonna get through it. Greg, how you doing tonight in Michigan?
Oh man, I don't know. It's kind of cold outside. It snowed a couple days this week. I'm doing all right. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. It's hockey season though, so you got to be doing good. But
Yeah,
we have
it's hockey season when it's cold.
we have enough to get into in a short period of time. So, Greg, I just want you to shout out our sponsor, please.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead with our advertisement from our sponsor, Howie's Hockey Tape. Howie's Hockey Tape is a Michigan product from Grand Rapids that now sells to each NHL team, including our very own Detroit Red Wings. Howie's also sells to the NCAA, the AHL, and the OHL. Anything you need for the locker room, Howie's has. Give them a follow on Instagram at Howie's Hockey Tape and go check out their website, howieshockeytape.com or .ca for our Canadian listeners. Another reason why you need to check out Howie's is that when you use the promo code WINGEDO, you'll get a 10% discount. Show some love for a Michigan company and check out Howie's Hockey Tape today. That was a good one.
Big coupons, bitch.
So we've got a few topics to talk about tonight, and I think the one that's on top of our minds that is probably going to be the most important coming up is the Red Wings homestand. So 8 out of their 10, easiest way to say it's 8 out of the next 10 games are home games, which home games are generally the most important. So Tyler, I will let you give your take on the homestand coming up.
Yeah, this homestand is really important for the Red Wings. You know, whether they're going to, for lack of a better term, whether they're going to sink or swim if they're going to make the playoffs, or if they're not going to make the playoffs. The games I look to, there's two of them that are two big games here. Obviously, all of them are big games. But if there's two that stick out more than anything, it's the game on Saturday after Thanksgiving, actually the day of the Michigan-Ohio State game. So that's against the New Jersey Devils. And then the following Tuesday against the LA Kings. You know, those are two big games, especially Jersey's been playing real good. And LA, obviously, is one of the best teams in the Western Conference. But then you also have Connor McDavid skating into Hockey Town on the 22nd of November. And then tomorrow is obviously another team that I personally think hasn't taken off yet, but I think the Calgary Flames are a really good team. And I think that'll be a really good test for the Red Wings, as they played a really good game the other night against the Columbus Blue Jackets. So it'll be interesting to see what they do against the Calgary Flames. But like I said, those are the two games, New Jersey and LA, that I really circled. They're like, oh, wow, these are two really, really, really tough games. So as for the homestand itself, I think out of 8 games, I think you need points in 5 or 6 of them, and I think you need wins in 4 or 5 of them. Otherwise, I think you're toast. Greg, I want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. Our big games are probably going to be New Jersey and New York. LA is going to be a big game. The Oilers, like you said, it's Connor McDavid and his band of misfits. It's Connor McDavid is the Edmonton Oilers, and that's probably why they haven't been doing so hot, because one player doesn't win all the games for you. Everyone else also has to, put in a little bit of effort. The often packed Little Caesars Arena is going to have some fire under it when the Wings come in. Like Blashill said, to get people in their seats, they've got to win to make it a sporting game. If they're not winning, it is a more of a social outing. So I'm gonna one up you. Out of 8, I think they need to get points in 7 and win 6. I see them losing probably to Jersey, and I see them losing probably to LA, but the rest of them are at least winnable. The wild card games are going to be the New York game and the Montreal game.
At Montreal,
depending or not. Carey. Well, no, Montreal's at home. New York's at New York, but
there's 2 of them.
Montreal
back to back.
Yeah, the first Montreal game is at home. And it all depends on Carey Price today said he's feeling a little better. So we'll see what happens. If Antti Niemi plays, that's a lock. That's a lock game. But this homestand is...
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I just have a little thought on Carey Price. They went and got Antti Niemi, right? If Carey Price was supposedly fine or had a minor injury, well, don't you think they wouldn't have picked up Antti Niemi off the scrap heap? That something smells funny there to me a little bit.
I don't know. You think they're going to trade Carey Price?
No, I don't think that's the case at all. I think the Carey Price injury is a lot worse than led on to believe, and I don't think he's going to be back for the foreseeable future. That's what I think.
Well, they revealed today, too, that his injury happened in practice. So, I mean, they normally don't practice that crazy hard.
Yeah, but you can tweak something in any practice, though.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm going to put that Montreal game into the question mark category because I guess it all depends on who's playing at that period in time. Yeah, it's an important homestand.
I agree. So we talk about the Montreal Canadiens, and they have not been playing good hockey. Well, the Red Wings, they get into a situation where it's a sink or swim situation. So, Greg, I'm going to kick it off to you, but before I do so, the Red Wings, a lot of people like to say they should tank. And I do understand the tanking, but I also understand that the fact that, whether you tank or you're not, you need to – hold on a second. Headset fucking died. Sorry, my headset died.
You're good.
So how can I redo this?
Just go from you started saying you understand why people say you need a tank. Just start with that.
Wait, hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, that's good. All right. So technical difficulty. So you talk about the sinking and swimming part, and a lot of people like to say the Red Wings, should tank and should not try to win hockey games and try to get down into that lottery. But to me, there's no guarantee. Greg, I want to get your thoughts, and then I'll throw mine out there.
So I have the controversial stance. If we win, it's good. If we tank, we get picks. So I will fully embrace a tank. They say 77.3% of teams are in the playoff, that are in the playoffs by American Thanksgiving actually make the playoffs. That's a pretty good number. The Red Wings are like 2 points out of a wild card spot currently. But I'm for a tank. If you want a tank and you want to get Rasmus Dahlin or get the best chance at getting him, I mean, the draft is deep with defensemen this year. If you get in that top 5, you're guaranteed generally a blue chip defenseman for this draft. So if we tank and we get in the top 5, we get a good lottery pick. We get number 1. Rasmus Dahlin comes in. He's the number 1 defenseman in the league. You got your next Nick Lidstrom, and you're feeling solid. If they win, that's okay. They're going to be a first round exit again if they get in. They don't have the team to go deep. But I'm all for a tank. What are your tanking feelings, Tyler? Do they not have
the team to be lucky in the playoffs and at least win a round? I think they do.
Well, not if you're playing Tampa.
No, not if you're playing Tampa. I mean, unless Kucherov gets hurt and Stamkos gets hurt, and even then they still might lose.
And their building collapses and they lose all their skates. That's the only way you're winning against Tampa.
Yeah. So, I mean, the way I look at it is, you can look at it from both ways, but personally, I don't think the tank is the right thing to do this year, personally. I mean, I know Rasmus Dahlin's out there, but you can still get him. I mean, look at Philadelphia last year. The Flyers were a better team than the Red Wings were last year, and the Flyers ended up with the first overall pick or the second overall pick. They were in the lottery right there.
They got number 2. Flyers got number 2.
Exactly. The Flyers got number 2. The Devils got 1, and they drafted Nico Hischier. Flyers got number 2 and drafted Nolan Patrick. So you really never know. It is a little bit of a crapshoot, and that's why I kind of say, look, in the NHL, you never know what happens. Also, if it's a 15th pick or a 13th pick or a 12th pick, that could still end up being a guy like a Dylan Larkin, in a defenseman role. So, I mean, you really never know. The Flyers are the team that I kind of look at. They got Samuel Morin and Shane Gostisbehere and Ivan Provorov and all those guys. None of those guys are top picks. I think except for Samuel Morin might have been a top 5 pick. But other than that, Provorov isn't, and Gostisbehere certainly isn't. So, I mean, you can get decent defensemen without sucking totally. And I at the same time, I understand if you want to suck totally to get a guy like Rasmus Dahlin. One of my friends is a big Toronto Maple Leafs fan. And he said, I don't understand what the hell you guys are doing. And I told him, I'm like, look, you know, they can't go into a rebuild. They just bought a brand new arena. You know, they just built a brand new arena and everything. He's like, who cares? He goes, you guys are an original 6 franchise. Your fans are not stupid enough. They'll understand. They'll actually be happier to the fact that, you know, you're throwing the white flags up. You know that you're not going to be good this year. You're not going to try to make the playoffs. You're going to try to build young players, and you're probably going to have a top 5 pick. And that's the way he said that they should build it. And to a degree, I understand, but at the same time, I do like the fact of the winning culture and trying to win hockey games, trying to get better. You know, the Yzermans, the Lidstroms, the Fedorovs, the Shanahans, all those guys, you know, put a blueprint of what it's like, not to be the most successful team in the NHL because, you know, unfortunately, we just don't have the talent of that, but the winning culture is there. You know, the city has seen the team be successful. They've seen the team win. They've seen the team lose too, but they've also seen the team, you know, bust their ass out there. And I think that's what Jeff Blashill wants the Red Wings to do. He wants a compete factor to be there. Even if they don't have the most skill out there, compete can beat skill most of the time. And so while I agree with you, I disagree with you, but I would say I more disagree with you than agree with you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing that could happen is we tank, we get the 2nd pick, and then, I mean, they pick Andrei Svechnikov because the kid's insane, but he's not a defenseman. So then we're stuck with garbage defenseman again. I want to say it's a win-win because of how deep the first round of the draft is. So if we middle out and we get another 15th pick, it's not bad because, like you said, Dylan Larkin came in at number 15
too.
And that was neither of those were super deep drafts.
Nope.
But it's this draft is deep with defensemen. So I think either way, we tank, we get 1st pick, or we get 2nd or 3rd pick and we trade up to number 1 to get Rasmus Dahlin. Or we middle out, we lose in the 1st round, we get the 15th pick and we still get a decent defenseman.
Yeah, but don't you like the fact that you know your younger players are getting experience in the postseason?
Who? You mean like Mantha and Larkin? Like
Mantha,
our younger players are freaking log jammed in Grand Rapids. We got Eriksson, the Pylon, and Kronwall taking up spaces for people like Hicketts and Hronek. Like, yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
Well, definitely. I mean, part of the fact is that, like, I mean, what I'm trying to say is, like, don't you like the fact of giving a guy like Larkin or Mantha or Athanasiou or Ouellet or you know, those guys to get an opportunity to shine in the postseason?
Yeah, I love it. I love the one game they'd get to play. That'd be great. The one game that we would win and then we're out in 5. So they'll learn really quick how to be beaten in the playoffs.
Well, you know, you gain experience and you see what happens. I mean, like I said before, in the NHL, you really never know. I mean, if you play Tampa, you're probably going to lose. But you never know. You really don't ever know.
Toronto. I feel if we played Toronto in the 1st round, we'd lose too.
See, I have my doubts about Toronto. Like, I know they're a good team, but I don't love that decor. I know they have Morgan Rielly, who's really good. And, you know, they have Jake Gardner, who's really good. But I don't love that decor besides those 2 guys.
No, but I love Austin Matthews. So.
Oh, well, yes. They will outscore us. That is a definite. So.
Yeah. I mean, so the playoffs are up in the air. But I think the really big reason that if the Wings made the playoffs that they would make it would be the best player on the team, the young Anthony Mantha, who is the Red Wings, and I'm going to say it because everyone else refuses to, the Red Wings elite player is Anthony Mantha, or the soon-to-be elite player, Anthony Mantha. Tyler, what do you think about Mr. Mantha's season so far?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. You know, he's got, 16 points in 18 games and 8 goals. I mean, he's on the pace for 30 or maybe even more goals. He's been really a bright spot. Obviously Larkin's been pretty good too. And Athanasiou in the few games he's played has been pretty good as well. But, I mean, Anthony Mantha has done everything. He's scored power play goals. He's scored, he's made really nice passes. He's made highlight reel goals. He's gotten the dirty goals in front of the net. He hasn't gotten in a scrap yet. He's hit a little bit. I think he's used his body a lot more this year, almost like a Yager to like shield the puck. So the sky is the limit for the kid. The only thing that I talk about before, and I have talked about in the past, is I'd like to see him get a little bit more dirty, a little bit more Milan Lucic in him, where, the puck gets dumped in and he's the first guy on the forecheck and he's laying the lumber on somebody, hitting somebody. And, that's just – unfortunately, that's something I don't think that's ever going to come. I don't think he's that type of player.
I mean, give him the dude's a wrecking ball. Give him enough speed, and he'll lay into whoever. And he's not afraid to. I mean, we saw him. He broke his hand in a fight with the Detroit Red Wing Luke Witkowski. So, yeah, Mantha. He's huge. He gets the Holmstrom goals in front of the net. He gets the crazy wraparound goals. The kid's got hands for days. Like you said, if he gets a little more aggressive, he'll kick Abdelkader off the team, and I'm all for that. Dump that garbage contract. But he can do the point. The point now is the sky's the limit for this kid, and he can do whatever he wants to in this league. The first few games, he to me looked a little sluggish, like he wasn't moving, like he wasn't trying to go after the puck. But they probably put some pressure on him. He's going after everything. He knows where to be and when to be there, and he knows where to throw the puck because he knows when his teammates are going to be there, and he's done it with whoever he's on a line with. So Mantha, I see him getting really close to or at 30 goals this season, definitely 30 goals next season. He's his first full season in the league. The kid's just astounding.
Yeah, as meters, it seemed like the puck seems to follow him around.
Yeah, it's the same thing with him and Larkin. Larkin, people are like, oh, Larkin's not scoring goals this year. But if you look, he's the leader in assists, and he's second on the team to Mantha in points.
He's a good player. I think he's going to be more of a – I don't think he's going to be the guy that we've seen in the first year. I think he's going to be more of a passer. I think he's going to be that playmaker, which is totally fine. The team building, there's an art to team building. It's not the easiest thing in the world. So
no, hockey team building is like a chess game. You got to know where to put your people and when to put them there. So you put Larkin, who is an amazing setup guy, who has good hands. He hasn't been extremely lucky this year. He's gotten some good looks, but he's faced some really good goalies. But you put a setup guy like that with someone like Mantha. Mantha's going to finish that play every time.
I agree.
So those kids are interchangeable. Put them on any line, they instantly make the line that they're on better. And like I said, sky's the limit for Mantha. Mantha's just going to tear it up. And the analysts will say, well, Red Wings don't have anyone that can be an elite player. I think Mantha can be an elite player.
I think Mantha can be a very elite player. I think he can be, the Red Wings' first 40 goal scorer in a long time. And that's saying a lot because, they've had some really good players that just have fallen shy of 40 goals. I think Marian Hossa was the last one. Was he the last 30 goal scorer? I think he might have even been the last 30 goal scorer. If you want to check that, you can. But I think Marian Hossa had like 35 goals in 2009, I want to say. But anyways, I mean, the sky is the limit with this kid. And then, I don't know about you, Greg, but I find myself enjoying watching the Red Wings, just to see what those three guys can do. And
unless they're playing Vancouver.
Yeah. Well, except for when they went down up to Vancouver and beat the Canucks in their barn. But I find myself liking this team. They're kind of a likable team. They kind of work hard for the most part. I mean, they don't have the greatest players in the world, but the young guys are definitely fun to watch. And it's not just Larkin, Mantha, Athanasiou. It's Furk, too. Xavier Ouellet has been pretty good this year. They have some really good young players. And Peter Mrazek, a young goalie is looking pretty good right now. So I mean, I personally like the way that they're doing the way that they're going right now, and Mantha's a huge reason why.
Yeah, Mrazek has kind of pissed me off because he's really, really great one game, and then he bottoms out the next game. Then he's really, really great for 2 more games, and then he bottoms out. And he's not as inconsistent as he used to be, but he's still inconsistent. So it's something that he needs to tighten up. Howie is amazing. Howie's going to be amazing. I don't know what happened. He had the one bad year, and then he came back like freaking 2008, Jimmy Howard. So
how are we gonna wow?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but he needs to keep that up. And he's the reason that we've won some of these games because he freaking stands on his head.
I agree.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, this homestand coming up is going to be a big factor in whether or not the Red Wings have the playoff potential. Like I said, the 77.3% of teams in playoff position by Thanksgiving actually make the playoffs, and that's a high percentage. And the Wings are 2% or 2 points out of a wild card. So we're going to have to see what happens.
They're there. I mean, they're getting close enough. I mean, to me, it's not about making the playoffs. It's not about the top pick. To me, it's more about, was this a successful year? Did the young players that you have get any better? Did they take steps forward? Did the club as a whole take a step forward? Like, did some of the players that you didn't think were great last year, did they take a step forward? The Nielsen's, the Abdelkaders, Larkins as well, because, I mean, he's a young guy still, but, he had a bad year last year. So is it going to be a productive year? They're going to give us a hockey season. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And, that's where it comes down to for me. I mean, they need to build this team, but the way you build a team is experience as well as team building as well.
Yep. Hopefully they get some good experience. They kick some of the old experience out and bring in some new experience.
Kronwall, Erickson.
Yep. Get your plane tickets. We got fresh blood coming in.
It's time. So yeah. Anyways, I think we're gonna wrap this show up. Greg, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, let's see the Wings do good or let's see the Wings do bad. I mean, for me, like I said, it goes either way. Of course, you're always going to root for your team, but I can understand if they don't win. Give me the pick. Don't give me the pick. I'm both ways. I'm a Red Wings fan, so they're my team no matter what. But it's good to see the kids play the way they've been playing.
I agree. Shout out your handle, please.
Oh yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Bringing the Wing.
Yeah. So my final thoughts, and definitely follow Greg on Twitter. He's a great follow. So my final thoughts are basically, that they need to play well on this homestand here that they have. I also think that, Greg just talked about, you're going to be a fan no matter what. I think that a fan means that, you're going to buy tickets to a game. You're going to buy a jersey. You're going to wear your jersey. You're going to wear a sweatshirt, T-shirt, hat, whatever, what have you. If knowing the team's going to lose, knowing the team sucks. And that's what a fan is. That's what a true fan is. And, people need to understand that. That's what a fan is. A fan doesn't, leave, because the team stinks or go eat food or go to the bar because the team stinks. You watch your game. Yep. You're there to watch hockey. You're there to watch your team that you support, apparently. And that's my closing thoughts. But go Wings. Hopefully they can do well on this homestand. You can follow me on Twitter at Tyler_Seal. You can also follow the Winged Octopus on Twitter at Winged Octopus. You can follow us on Instagram as well. You can also like us on Facebook, and then you can also check out our link, which is on our Twitter for the website as well. One final thing, guys, please subscribe to us. We're looking to see, who liked our stuff, and if you could leave us a review, that'd be great. If you didn't like our stuff, leave us a review, tell us why, and hopefully we can improve and make your experience better the next time around. So anyways, stay classy, Hockey Now. And Greg, thanks for your time tonight. And we're actually going to be doing a show on Thursday. Tess will be joining us. And you can so basically that's all we have tonight. Stay classy, Hockey Town.